Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. It's Tuesday, the 30th day of April. Today is the final day of this month. Can you believe that? April went quick, man.
It really
It went really fast. Today is
It
National...
took me a minute to even realize that April is done.
I was like, didn't we just start this
What?
month?
April's over?
National Bubble Tea Day, National Sarcoidosis Day. They need a day. I'm not sure what that is. National Military Brats Day. Or is it Military Brats Day? And they're just cooking today. I think it is Military Brats. And that's a term of endearment, I think. Because I know some people who are that, and they go, I'm a military brat. I think that they're okay with that title.
All right.
National Prepare-a-thon Day, so get ready for that. National Honesty Day, so don't lie in today. National Adopt a Sheltered Pet Day. National Bugs Bunny Day. National Hairstylist Appreciation Day. National Oatmeal Cookie Day. And National Raisin Day. Those two things go pretty well together. And it's a Tuesday, so we have Tuesdays with Charlie coming up before you know it.
The inventor of Rip It gloves has been a drywall guy for decades. He was trying to find gloves that worked for him and his crew, but nothing was quite right. So he went out and created some. Rip It gloves fit firm in your hand and protect your hands, but still allow you to use a touchscreen. Professional athletes love the extra grip Rip It gloves gives them. Painters, roofers, contractors, but also motorcycle and horseback riders. See why everyone loves Rip It gloves at ripitgloves.com. Use promo code radio to save 25%. That's RIPIT gloves.com, promo code radio.
Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. A new survey found that elderly are now twice as likely to work than they were in 1985. So there are more and more people working now. And some of the elderly, I think, are working because they want to. But there's others who are working because they have to. Now, you know, we're going to have Tuesdays with Charlie later in the program. We've been trying to convince your dad to quit his job for a while now.
Yes, we have.
And it's not because it's a bad job, but because I think he deserves a rest. But
Absolutely.
He's like, I want to work for at least one more year. Didn't he say that 4 years ago?
Yeah, pretty much.
So, I've got a link to this study if you want to read all about it. It's in the surveys and studies and such section at john@HeidiShow.com. You'll want to click on show notes. That's where you'll find all that. Credit cards. They can be trouble. About 12 years ago, we did a debt snowball program and got rid of our credit cards. We were debt-free except for our house. It was awesome. But over the course of the next decade, our credit score went down. That sounds weird, but they need open accounts to give you a score. Our lower score made our insurance rates go up. We decided to get a credit card to help with that. We just pay it off every month. If you want a better credit card, check out bettercreditcards.net. They'll help you compare all the different cards to get the best one for you. That's bettercreditcards.net. And this is Your Brain on Drugs, brought to you by Time4Rehab.com. A Florida man was being investigated for causing a drunken disturbance in a public library when he gave police a bogus social security number and a fake name. Oh. Jason Bourne is what he said his name was. Police say the 45-year-old Jonathan Chapman was asked several times to leave the library, but he refused. He was intoxicated and smelled of booze. He was asked for his identity. Instead of giving his actual name, he said, I'm Jason Bourne. Mm-hmm. That's the title character from Bourne Identity in the movie, played by Matt Damon. It's also a book, by the way. Some people might not have known that. Maybe he was reading that in the library. I doubt it, though. Police finally did identify him with his fingerprints, maybe. I'm not sure how they did it. But he was charged with resisting an officer, misdemeanor, for providing a phony name and invalid social security numbers. And he was drunk in a library, didn't get charged for that, so that must not be illegal. So, I don't know. Thanks for listening. That is what happens when your brain is on drugs.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com. If I say the name Mickey Rooney, you know who I'm talking about? An actor?
Vaguely.
So, sweet little old man.
I'm not super familiar with
Mickey
him,
Rooney.
but I believe I am picturing the same,
in my mind,
right person.
Always thought of him as a sweet little old man. Well, apparently not.
Okay.
It says a shocking new book claims Mickey Rooney fooled around with over 200 female actresses on his casting couch.
Oh, I'm sure
So he was
probably did.
A lot busier than I thought he was, apparently. I don't know. That is not at all how I pictured him. But I don't know. You never know. Robert De Niro was in the news last week.
See, that sort of thing doesn't shock me about any celebrity. I would imagine that they have women throwing themselves at them all the time.
I suppose.
So
yeah. Why
would that be shocking?
Because he just seemed like such a neat little guy. So I don't know. Maybe I'm
but
thinking.
Even if he's a neat little guy, he's got women throwing himself.
Yeah, I suppose.
You know, I don't know.
Not a lot of women in this next story. Robert De Niro was in the news because his table at the Tribeca Film Festival was, they said, mostly male, and it raised eyebrows. You know, in this day and age in Hollywood, I almost think if I were going to have a table, I wouldn't want, because then all of a sudden you have people saying something happened. So I can see where he's coming from.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just, it's like, I don't know that there's any winning these days.
Because
if it was mostly female, he'd have gotten in trouble too. So
yeah,
and it's a bizarre story.
Just do what makes you happy and don't worry about anybody else.
There you go. Thanks for listening to Big Screen, Little Screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com.
Join us for a fun week in Punta Cana, Dominican Republic for the 3rd annual 80s in the Sand. We've been there the last 2 years. In addition to making a bunch of awesome new friends, we had so much fun meeting 80s actors and musicians. 80s in the Sand takes over the entire resort, so you'll mingle with them at the pools and the restaurants too. We'd love to have you join us. See the amazing lineup featuring Sammy Hagar and many more at radiotravelgroup.com. Save $200 per person for first-time guests at radiotravelgroup.com.
Now, your scoop of the day brought to you by BetterCreditCards.net. An Instagram model has enlisted the help of a doctor to prove that her hiney is for real. Because everybody's saying, oh, she had work done on that.
Wow.
First of all, I don't understand why you would want to do that. But apparently people do, so that's a thing. I just want to make sure.
That's a thing.
I just want to make sure everybody knows all of mine is real. I mean, 100% of it. 110% of it. I need to lose some weight. But it's all me. So there's not been, I don't need any doctor to help prove that. Anyone who looks at me would know, yeah, that's all you. You certainly didn't have any work done. Taylor Swift revealed that she has designed her own dress for the Time 100 Gala. Whatever that is. Did you get your invite for the Time 100?
It must be lost.
It's stuck in the mail?
Yeah, because I have not received it yet.
You haven't?
I've been looking for it.
I made you a dress for it. So
Oh, good.
I didn't really. Although, I got to say something. We have a friend who did make a dress for his wife. I think this is the sweetest thing ever. She never had a chance to go to the prom when she was in school. So then, years later, they're both in their 40s now, and he took her to an 80s prom. We actually went to that with them. And he sewed her a dress. It was the dress from
Pretty in
Pink.
Yeah, he made the Pretty in Pink.
It was so cool.
Dress. It was pretty cool.
Like, who does that? Ken does that. That dude is awesome, man. I was like, wow, who sewed this? He's like, I did. I said, that's
amazing.
You're a sewer? I don't know if that's really the right word.
Seamster?
I don't know if that's a word either. But he's like, no, I learned how to do it just for this.
That's
and
so cool.
He was in the store, and some ladies helped pick out some fabric.
That's so cool.
I thought that was really cool. Anyway, Taylor Swift, for whatever reason, made her own dress for the Time 100 Gala. And again, we weren't invited for some reason. California Elementary School is voting this week, or maybe it was last week, because I think I've had this story a while. They're voting to determine if they should remove Michael Jackson's name from the auditorium. Wonder how that vote's going to go. Probably is going to go exactly how we're all thinking. Britney Spears' boyfriend, Sam Asghari, am I saying that right?
I don't know.
You know who he is?
No.
He told TMZ that she's, quote, doing amazing and she'll be back soon, end quote. That's good. That's good news to get an update.
I don't know who we're talking about, but that's awesome.
Britney Spears. You don't know who we're talking about. You know who Britney Spears is?
Well, you said Sam Asghari?
No, that's her boyfriend.
Oh, I don't know who that is.
It's Britney Spears' boyfriend.
Okay, but I don't know who he is.
Well, I know, but I just told you who he is.
Is he a celebrity? Are we supposed to know who that is?
I don't know. I don't know who he is either.
That's what I was talking about.
He's Britney's main squeeze, Heidi. Don't you remember meeting him at a barbecue last year?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Sam.
No, we weren't at a barbecue with him last year either. We don't really go anywhere or do anything too cool. Fashion honcho, that's exact words in this story. Fashion honcho Anne Wintour was spotted eating chili during intermission at a Broadway play.
So what?
Why is this a story? Imagine if this story was about me. Big John Small was spotted eating 5-foot-long hot dogs during an intermission.
Eating a steak out of a plastic bag while driving down the interstate.
I did do that. I was driving and eating steak out of a plastic bag. It was a Ziploc type bag, probably a generic one because my wife bought it. I don't think you buy brand names, so
I don't.
Whatever they have at Dollar Tree bags.
Why would I do that? You're throwing them away.
Well, I'm saying it worked really well. So yeah, Anne Wintour Hope the chili was good. Sorry to see that they're making a national news story about that.
So
Oh, did you see that?
awful.
During the intermission, she was
Oh,
eating
my
chili.
gosh.
Ooh. That's crazy. What a way to end our scoop of the day on the John and Heidi Show.
Do you have a credit card? Is it the very best credit card? Many people get their credit card as a response to an offer that was mailed to you. These are typically not the best cards. Check the fine print for the fees and interest. We have a website that compares many different cards being offered so you can find the one that's the best fit for you. If you'd like to find a better credit card, we'd love to help at bettercreditcards.net. There's no obligation. Just click and compare to see if we can get you a better credit card at bettercreditcards.net.
And it's time right now for my favorite program, something we do every Tuesday, just because we can. We pick up the phone and we call my father-in-law for a little thing we like to call
Tuesdays with Charlie.
How you doing, Charlie?
I'm doing fine, thank you.
Are you excited for Tuesday?
Yes, I am, because the news comes after Tuesday is Wednesday.
Oh, yeah. Usually, yeah, that's a good way. So what kind of cool stuff we going to learn on this Tuesday?
Well, let's see here what we got. Okay, let's do this one. I got some stuff here for you.
Okay.
Okay, you know President John Quincy Adams.
I've heard of him, yeah?
You know he once had an alligator that kept in the White House?
I did know that.
Really?
Did you?
Yeah. He had a pet out there. I read an article about bizarre pets at the White House, and I thought that was one of the most bizarre.
What was his alligator's name?
I don't know, Snappy? I have no idea.
I don't either. I just asked you. I don't have a clue. Hey, then you got dogs.
We have two of them.
Did you know that dogs laugh often?
They laugh?
Yeah, but you have trouble recognizing it because it sounds like they're panting.
Huh.
So sometimes if your dog's panting, he's laughing at you.
Our dogs probably laugh at us all the time.
I really do think Mandy laughs a lot. I've seen Mandy where she even looks like she's laughing. I've got a picture of Mandy where she looks like she's laughing. Both dogs.
We also have a picture where she looks like she's just quincing because she did not want the other dog in the house.
Well, being around you two, she probably laughs a lot. Hey, then, I told you this before, but in 1950, several store owners realized that if they could draw big crowds by having a woman sleeping in a bed or in a window display.
Yeah, I remember you telling us about that.
That'd be a good job to have. What do you got to do? Just lay in that bed.
Just lay in the bed.
I sleep in a store
People come
window.
and watch. That's
That'd be
funny.
kinda neat.
I would do that. I would do that job.
I don't know that anybody would want to watch me sleep, but if you want to watch me sleep, I suppose. Maybe we get a webcam. I doubt it.
I think like a monkey in a cage, it'd be interesting.
Yeah.
Hey, the Chesapeake Bay Bridge, it must be pretty high off the canyon and a river or something.
Yeah.
You know that there's a company that will drive you over the bay if you're scared?
Really?
Too scared to do it, they'll drive it for you.
They'll just let you hide in the back seat and they'll drive you over?
In the back seat, close your eyes, we'll take you over there.
Huh.
I remember going over the Royal Gorge with you, which was the highest suspension bridge, and you threatened to throw Jason over the side. You picked him up and acted like you were going to throw him over the side.
Father of the year.
There you go. I think that was the year I won it, too. I'm not real sure. Hey, then I also told you this once a few years back, too, but there was a toilet paper shortage in 1973
Oh, yeah, you did tell us about that.
because somebody on a talk show made a joke about something to convince people to hoard toilet
Oh,
paper.
yeah.
I think it was Johnny Carson, actually.
That could have been.
I think it was him where he said something about a toilet paper shortage, and then the next day there really was one.
But in 73, you was probably just a kid, so you wouldn't have known that.
Yeah. I wasn't around yet. I missed that one, Charlie.
Damn it. Hey, then a math professor had worked out an equation to calculate how long into a car journey it takes a child to ask, are we there yet?
How
Really?
long?
How long does it take?
Depends on which kid you're at.
Our kids, not long.
Some of them were like 5 miles out. Are we there yet?
Yeah.
I got to pee.
It's going to be a long trip.
I'm used to those.
Okay, that's all I got for that one.
All right, you ready for a question from us?
Sure.
All right, how about this? Do you think you might know which actor or actress has been nominated the most times for an Academy Award?
It could be either one.
Yeah, if you either one, I got both of them here.
How about Meryl Streep?
Meryl Streep, yes. Good job. She leads with in actresses. How many nominations do you think she's had?
6.
No, 21.
Whoa.
21.
How many did she win? Does it say?
Doesn't say how many she won. Jack Nicholson, by the way, leads for actors with 12 nominations. So there you go.
I took a pretty good stab at that,
You
didn't
did.
I?
You did.
I'm proud of
Very
you, Charlie.
good.
I think instead of the Grammy Awards, you should be giving out the Grampy Awards.
Oh, wow.
There you go. Lucky guess.
We'll have to work on that for the next, whenever the award season is. Well, we'll talk to you next week, Charlie. Thank you so much.
We'll talk to you then.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye, Fluff. Bye, John.
Bye-bye. My father-in-law right there. We talk to him every Tuesday just because we can. It's a little program we like to call
Tuesdays with Charlie.
The inventor of Rip It gloves has been a drywall guy for decades. He was trying to find gloves that worked for him and his crew, but nothing was quite right. So he went out and created some. Rip It gloves fit firm in your hand and protect your hands, but still allow you to use a touchscreen. Professional athletes love the extra grip Rip It gloves gives them. Painters, roofers, contractors, but also motorcycle and horseback riders. See why everyone loves Rip It gloves at ripitgloves.com. Use promo code radio to save 25%. That's RIPIT gloves.com, promo code radio.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
There were 3 founders of Apple. Everybody knows about Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak, but did you know there's another one, too?
I'm sure I did. Because it was on that movie, I'm sure that we watched.
I think that it was. It says there's another guy. Legend has it. There was another guy in the garage when the company was founded. Ronald Wayne. He had 10% stake in the company at the time. Mm-hmm. And
he wanted out.
As adult supervision of the project, he was older than they were. He was 42 and they were like in their 20s. He ended up selling his stake
for next to nothing.
$800.
Yep.
Today, that's worth $35 billion.
Holy cow. Talk about,
oh, man.
Talk about kicking yourself.
Yeah. $800. Thanks for listening to today's fun fact. Oh, by the way, his name was Ronald Wayne. That's the guy. Credit cards. They can be trouble. About 12 years ago, we did a debt snowball program and got rid of our credit cards. We were debt-free except for our house. It was awesome. But over the course of the next decade, our credit score went down. That sounds weird, but they need open accounts to give you a score. Our lower score made our insurance rates go up. We decided to get a credit card to help with that. We just pay it off every month. If you want a better credit card, check out bettercreditcards.net. They'll help you compare all the different cards to get the best one for you. That's bettercreditcards.net. Now, fear this. Time for fun with phobias. How about this one? Parturiphobia. 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 Parturiphobia.
I don't know.
It's the fear of childbirth.
Oh,
so, were you afraid to have our children when you had our children? She's my wife, so.
No, I was afraid of Pitocin.
Oh, yeah.
With the second one.
I don't know if there's an actual term for that, but they should name it after you. That was
I
quite the spectacle. It was like a hostage situation. I'm on one side of the door. We're trying to talk her out. Tell you what, I'll slide a Kit Kat under the door.
Myself in the bathroom.
If you promise.
When they said they were going to give me Pitocin, I was like, no, not coming out.
There's not a name for that, but this one is parturiphobia. It's fear of childbirth. Today's fun with phobias.
Join us for a fun week in Punta Cana, Dominican Republic for the 3rd annual 80s in the Sand. We've been there the last 2 years. In addition to making a bunch of awesome new friends, we had so much fun meeting 80s actors and musicians. 80s in the Sand takes over the entire resort, so you'll mingle with them at the pools and the restaurants too. We'd love to have you join us. See the amazing lineup featuring Sammy Hagar and many more at radiotravelgroup.com. Save $200 per person for first-time guests at radiotravelgroup.com.
Now, some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. Police in Florida say a teenager there is accused of striking his stepsister in the head with a potato because she wasn't paying attention to him.
Okay.
So for those of you who have more than one child, this doesn't really shock you, I'm sure.
No,
it's a little bit bizarre.
Like what? Like, is he in trouble?
Yeah. 18-year-old Tyler Scott Parker.
He was 18?
Yeah.
Well, then, yeah.
He was busted for domestic battery when he threw a potato at his stepsister in Tampa, Florida. Is that an important call you're getting there?
I'm so sorry.
And my wife over here taking.
Forgot to turn that
So
off.
he began yelling at the victim and replied to the defendant. He allegedly threw the potato, which struck his kin in the head. Parker was subsequently arrested on a misdemeanor domestic battery charge. The victim does not appear to have been injured by the potato in the head strike. That's I think it's sad that it got so blown.
okay, here I was thinking it was two little kids and like whatever. I was
No.
like, that's a bit
It's
ridiculous.
it
But yeah, if
doesn't-
he's 18.
Here's the thing I don't like.
Should be
They
able to
didn't put her
control
age.
himself.
No, they didn't put her age in here. So is she 5?
Right.
Is she 17?
It
I mean,
doesn't matter how
either
old
way.
she is.
No, but it matters a little bit.
No, it really
I mean, it was a
does
bad
not.
idea no
Even
matter
if she
what.
was 27, it doesn't matter. You throw a
Yeah,
potato
it
at
is a bad
somebody's
idea.
head when you're an adult.
And was it a big potato or one of those little mini potatoes? So just
What are we talking about
were
here?
these baked potatoes? Or
Tater
was-
tots?
I don't know. That's a bad plan. Today's Weird News brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
John and Heidi.
Now, your moment of duh brought to you by FunkyMonkeyShirts.com. A 66-year-old licensed Bay Area lawyer was arrested for putting a camera on his shoe and then sliding that shoe right under a young lady's dress. And the young lady, this was at an Apple store in California, and that young lady, her father was there, and he said, excuse me? Jacques Bloxam is the 66-year-old lawyer, the guy that was doing this, with a camera strapped to his foot.
Whoa.
He had several other recording devices in his car as well. He was arrested at about 3 p.m. on a Sunday, and that's what he does on his Sundays, apparently. And it says here he was a suspicion of using cameras to secretly record undergarments of another person, along with an annoying or molesting a child under 18.
Oh, my gosh.
So luckily he's an attorney because he's going to need it. That's a
I'll
terrible
defend
idea.
myself.
Yeah, there's no defense. Terrible idea. It's today's moment of duh.
Do you have a credit card? Is it the very best credit card? Many people get their credit card as a response to an offer that was mailed to you. These are typically not the best cards. Check the fine print for the fees and interest. We have a website that compares many different cards being offered so you can find the one that's the best fit for you. If you'd like to find a better credit card, we'd love to help at bettercreditcards.net. There's no obligation. Just click and compare to see if we can get you a better credit card at bettercreditcards.net.
Now, these 3 things. Heidi, tell me, what do these 3 things have in common? You ready for this?
I am ready.
All right. It's kind of a tricky one because these things all sound the same, but they're spelled differently.
Okay.
A butcher shop, a horse race, and a tent. Yeah, it doesn't really seem right to me. A butcher shop, what comes from a butcher shop? Think about
I'm
that.
going to say steak.
Yes. And a tent has
And then you have a steak.
tent
on it.
steaks.
Yep.
And then a horse race is there's
You have a steak. You stake a bet.
Yeah, so that's a bit of a stretch.
It's a bit of a stretch, but I got
Heidi
it.
is just amazing at this game. I'm pretty sure she's sneaking in here early and looking at my answers.
Yeah, I am, because there is so much at stake.
Oh, I see what you. Woo-hoo, I see what you did there. That was good. Extra points for Heidi today. I should start keeping track of these. Thanks for listening to these 3 things.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
Now, some good news brought to you by BetterCreditCards.net. Love this story. Teachers donate 100 sick days. So, like, if you get a sick day, I didn't even know you could do that, but apparently you can.
Yeah, I didn't know you could give away your sick days, but
Well,
I have heard this story. This is a
They
great
donated
story.
100 sick days to a coworker whose daughter is fighting cancer.
I think that's
So,
beautiful.
very rarely, when you're talking about somebody fighting cancer, is this good news. But the good news is what others around him have been helping
Right.
with. When teachers at May Jemison High School, Huntsville, Alabama, discovered one of their own had no more sick days to tend to his infant daughter who was diagnosed with cancer, they stepped up and said, you know what? You can have mine. David Green is a history teacher. He's also the father to a 16-month-old girl who was diagnosed with acute lymphoblastic leukemia 6 months ago. I don't even know for sure if I said all that stuff right, and it's not the kind of thing that a 16-month-old should even have to think about. But she's getting treatments 100 miles from home, and he wants to be there with him when he can.
Of course he does.
So these teachers stepped up, and they said, hey, I'm going to give you a couple, and this person gave a couple. 100 sick days he was able to get.
That's so fantastic.
Says, we were blown away with the response we received with the sick days. We were hoping to get a couple of days so he could be there maybe once a week. Megan Green, Kinsley's mother, told CNN. It's a huge blessing. And we can't wait until we're in a position to give back and help others.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
So wonderful.
I love this story. I do have a link to this in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. And it says right here, it says, I could not imagine having a child and being away from the child. So I thought it was the right thing to do. My mom has always told me, you don't have to be rich to bless someone. That's one of the teachers that stepped up.
Right.
Absolutely true. You don't have to be wealthy to help other people. You know
Right.
what? Sometimes you can help people by just maybe helping
Even
them.
just a smile.
Yeah,
sometimes
smile.
is all that it takes.
Grabbing the door for somebody when they got their arms full and
Yeah.
you see them coming. Do a little tiny thing like that today. Go out of your way to be a blessing to somebody. It's going to help you even more than it helps them.
Absolutely.
It's going to make you feel really good. I encourage you to do that. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Tuesday.